My name is Cosplay, alias Louis. I'm 23 years old. I'm from Germany, and I'm a cosplayer from since mid 2014 or 2015. So first I want to show you my guideline, what we are talking about today and what you can expect from the workshop. First of all, we will make a step-by-step like progression, my progression in the past and like how I evolved myself over the years, and then we coming straight to expectations, because you should have expectations for a photo shoot, but only for yourself and for the photographer. And then we talk about the three main steps: communication with the photographer before a shooting, during a shooting, and after a shooting. And this is not a posing workshop, this is more like a workshop like how do I get the best pictures out of my shooting, how do I communicate with the photographer, how do I say the things I want to say, how can I communicate. Because I think the cosplay scene has some slightly deficits in this, because I know a lot of people who are really talented, they're great with armors, or they have great costumes, but the pictures are not that good, and it's not the photographer's fault or the model, but the communication is sometimes not the best. No. Okay, I wanted to show you some things. Like, this is me in 2014, and as you can see, like, my makeup was not the best. This was my first cosplay in Leipzig Book Fair in Germany, and I always had the same pose, the same face expression. My wigs were horrible. So I want to show you everybody starts small. Like, I was not like I had the best shootings ever or something like that. Okay, this are some of my pictures now, and as you can see, they're a lot better. Like, I want to be honest, like, I worked with amazing photographers here. There are so many talented people all over the world, from France or Netherlands or Germany. So I can't say like all the names. Like, there's Steve Lee from France, Tobias Schmelzer from Germany, a lot of people. But I also got better, not with my wigs, with my makeup, with my posing, but also with what I want to achieve during a shooting. Okay. Sadly, you don't really see the graphic right now, but as a cosplay beginner, you start with like some attributes. Let's say like in a role play game, you have like some attitudes that make your shooting better or worse. Like, first of all, time for shooting, like, or time for a specific picture. If you don't take enough time, you will, like, if you want to have a picture in 5 minutes and it's really complex, you will never get a good picture out of that because details are wrong or missing, etc. So if you really want to get a better cosplayer, learn about all the aspects here. Like, I will go to every aspect and explain it to you. Like, if you're starting to shoot, you will get better over time. You will be better prepared for shooting, like normally, but you have still some things you can do from the very beginning, and like they will improve your shootings and your results so much. Like, I want to show you this. I'm sorry for this, like, cheating on me. Let's say this. I want to show you a negative example. Like, if you're like really a posing profi, like you're perfect with your posing, you know how to pose, maybe you're a model in your free time or maybe as your job, but if you're bringing no time for shooting, if you're bringing no motivation, if you have nothing prepared, like references, what you want to achieve, which pictures you want to create, then you will not get a good picture. Or maybe the pictures will be not as good as they could be. Like, even you see some people on the internet, they're really talented, they can do good poses, But sometimes they're on a convention and they are not motivated, and this doesn't help you in your future. So I want to show you this. So about this, I see myself here. I'm not a good, I'm not the best with posing or anything, but I bring a lot of motivations for my shootings. I take enough time, like if I shoot with a photographer, I'm taking 1 hour or more, because like if you go in there and say, yeah, let's do 1 or 2 pictures, it can be good, maybe at a convention, maybe just a normal shoot, 1 or 2 photos, but if you have like a really good photo shoot and you're taking 1 hour or 2, you will get slightly more better results with the whole, maybe the location and your costume, etc. So take your time and prepare yourself, always looking for references, etc. But I will come later to that, what you can do about this. So as you can see here, all around who learn about all the aspects, time, motivation, references, will always outscale a posing profi or a model when it comes to the final results. That's I wanted to show you through the last graphics. So, okay, let's compare these 2 pictures of myself. Like the first one was me in 2016 during a convention, and we took a fast photo with a friend of mine, and another friend of mine edited the picture, so it's really good. But as you can see, in 2018, I like this picture a lot more because it has a lot more dynamic in it. It has so many little details I really love. It like gives me a completely another feeling. Like, to be honest, sure, I redo the whole armor, I redo the wig, but that's not the main point. For the first shoot, I was like, yeah, sure, let's take a photo, and it was a quick photo, and it was nice. But the second one, we took like 1 hour for the whole shooting. We looked at the references together with the photographer, and so we got so much more results. And another thing you can see here, I had this reference on the top, and I slightly adjusted in the picture, because with this armor, this pose looks kind of weird. So always think about poses you can achieve with your costume. Like, you cannot do every pose with every costume, but we will come to that right now. Okay. So expectations. Like, first expectations to you. You really need to commit for shooting. Like, I want this shooting. If you like yeah, let's do this, or if you're not bringing any motivation, it's no use. Like, you can do this, but you will never get good photos out of that. So if you're not well prepared or have no motivation, you will wasting money. Maybe the shoot will be cancelled because you're saying last minute, oh no, I don't want to do this. You will not finishing. I'm sorry. You will get no good pictures out of it. You will not get many pictures out of it because the photographers will see, okay, maybe you're not in the mood to take any pictures, and yeah. So then you need to think about how many pictures I want to get out of the shooting. Like, you need to think, like you could see in my previous pictures, I did some composings where the photographer added the whole background and everything and added some effects. These pictures take a lot of time. So you cannot come to a photographer and say, hey, I want to get 10 pictures with high edited, and maybe I will not pay for that even, or something like that. You need to say, like, hey, how many pictures do I want, how many, like, when I come to a photographer, I maybe ask for 10 easy edited photos, or maybe like 5 high edited photos. Like, always go easy on the photographers, or just think about, do I want a complex composing picture, or do I want really, like, maybe just some face editing or something like that. Okay. Check your style of your costume with the photographer. That's super important. If you're doing like a little anime schoolgirl and you're shooting with a photographer who is mainly doing like the left style, you will maybe not get the best pictures out of it because it's more like dark and more like some goth style or something like that. Some photographers have a really specific kind of editing pictures, and it would be not good working with cute characters. It's the same with the right one. If I like have a really big armor and the photographer is more like editing some light on the pictures or something like that, maybe it could not look good. Like you have, I would say, in Germany, you have like photographers who master different styles so they can work with nearly every costume, but sometimes they more like specify it on maybe some slightly editing or maybe some composings, so you need to check like what he's doing with his pictures. Maybe he has some before and after pictures, and when you see there, hey, it's a good one, like it's more like a really dark style, then maybe I should not shoot a really cute character like Jack Frost or something like with this photographer. So, that's about matching styles. Actionable posing. I see a lot of people who want to achieve this pose in a shooting or something like that. Sure, you can do this, but it will not look good. Or maybe if you're martial arts, if you're martial arts trainer or something like that, maybe this can look good. But you needed a specific photographer who can take like having a specific camera to take enough shoots to achieve like this dynamic pose. So always think about realistic references. Take some pictures who you know you can do, and not something like this. Like I could never do this, and it would look horrible. Then the last thing is shooting locations. Some people don't think about it, like if you shoot in the first picture or in the second picture. Check the photographer and check, does his photos contain only shooting on locations, or maybe like on location shoots, like in this forest. In this forest you can achieve so much more and such a different style than in a convention hall like this with all the people. It's a huge difference. Like you can see, it's the same here, like in a forest, and you get so many different styles on a lost place or a forest. So, a lot of people ask me, like, what do you prefer? It's more like a private shooting or a convention shooting. Like, there's some positive aspects and negative aspects about both. Like, in convention shootings, you have, like, the time-saving aspect. Like, if you're going to a convention, you already have your costume on, so you can take some pretty pictures, and that's it. Like, you have time, you can spend time with your friends and everything else on the convention, but you can also take good pictures. And you can work with different photographers, or a photographer can work with different models on a convention. So the shootings in a convention are not mostly that long, like half an hour or something like that. And you have, sure, lower costs, but because the most of the photographers doing free shoots, and you don't need to pay them on a convention, mostly. But for private shoots, you have a lot of other aspects, like you can bring in heavy props. If you're cosplaying from Nier Automata or a heavy armor from World of Warcraft, maybe you cannot bring this cosplay to a convention with all the props, but you can do it if you have a private shoot, because you can have your own car. And the second aspect is you have a lot more focus. Like if you're going for an on-location shoot, I can prepare my makeup perfectly. I can take my time. Maybe I can like bring all the props I want. I can take an assistant with me who can maybe hold my weapon or can keep me warm if I'm shooting, like when it's cold outside in a really light costume or something like that. And you can search for a fitting location. Here in the convention, maybe you have some nice spots, but if you're going on location shooting, you have a lost place. Maybe you have an old fabric. You have so many things you can do there more than on a location. As you can see here, you have two pictures of me. The one is done in a location, and I'm really happy how it turned out, because the light was so crappy in the convention hall, but the photographers had some light, so she could light it up and it looks pretty okay. Like, I like it, but I like the right one a lot more because you have this beautiful skyline of Frankfurt in the background. Like, that's the thing, like, you can have good pictures on a convention, but if you want to really have decent pictures, I would always go for location shootings. Okay, I didn't translate the topic, I'm sorry, like communication beforehand. Like, you need to know on which base you shoot with the photographers. Some photographers only do pay shootings, some of them shoot for free. You need to check this. Like, you can go on the page, maybe they have like an info or something like that. Because if you know you have not enough money to achieve like a pay shooting, then it's not worth to write the photographers. Maybe you can ask, maybe, hey, you want to shoot you for free, but yeah. That's one thing you should, like, for me it's like, if I want to sell prints, etc., I need to ask, like, how is it with the copyrights of the pictures, can I use it for selling prints of it, etc. So, matching the ideas, this is so important. Like, you want to check so many things. You want to check so many things, like, check out the poses together. Like, if the photographer maybe has only one light and want to do, if he has only one light and want to do really, and you want to shoot with a group of 5 people, one light is not enough to light out the whole group. So you need really to focus on that when you're asking the photographers maybe for a group shoot. The second one is location planning. Check where is the photographer coming from. Like, if he is from a whole other country, he will probably say no to you. So ask how we can meet. Maybe I can buy you the train ticket. There's some people in Germany who ask the photographers, hey, you can come to me and shoot me and making like 10 pictures in 1 week and I don't pay for it. Like, and there were some requests in a group and the people were like, what the fuck are you doing? Because like, that's a huge point of this whole presentation. Always admire the work of both sides, but we will come later into this. Like, so have a decent planning about how you want to create the shooting. Like, sure that you have like how long, like maybe you want to have a whole shooting weekend. So like discuss this with the photographers. And you should always have assistants. Maybe for huge custom, for my, like, not a huge custom, but Jack Frost, I have this little parts that can, like, maybe you can lift it up, etc. Or hold my staff or something like that. Like an assistant in an on-location shooting is always so good. And this is super important and nearly nobody does it, but you have like, you should have a context and constant exchange of informations. Because when I want to shoot with the photographers, I take my whole references, put it in a folder and send it to him and say, here I want to achieve these pictures, or maybe like slightly different, but these are my main poses, I want to do this, or I want to create this atmosphere. Show him what you want to achieve. And maybe then he can say yes. Like, when I didn't have this whole experience, I was asking somebody, yeah, could you make like these pictures of me? And he was like, yeah, sure. And then after the shooting, I noticed like I didn't make my things clear, and I got so many pictures, but I was not really happy with them because I want to have a whole another atmosphere around the pictures. Okay, communication during the shooting. This is really important because I made this experience when I was in Pixelmania. It's a photo event in Poland last year, and I was like making 28 shoots in 3 days with 6 costumes, like shooting nearly 14 hours a day. So this is so important. I learned this, like communicate problems in a shooting. Like if something wrong, like maybe there are some details missing, maybe you screwed up your wig, maybe you don't have your armor is falling off or something like that, then tell it to the photographer. Say like, hey, this part of my costume doesn't fit. Maybe you can turn me around, or we can find some other poses that will work. Like, communicate this, because I know so many people, they get a result out of their shooting, and then they say, yeah, but I don't like this part of my wig, and the photographer says, yeah, well, you didn't tell me beforehand, so we never had this problem. Motivate each other. Like when I saw a good picture in the cam, I tell this to photographer, just not be like, oh yeah, that's okay. I was like so happy he get decent pictures of me, and so you can motivate each other, and then you will have so much more and better results, trust me. And variety, like there was, in Pixelmania you can not really see it in these little pictures, but there was like a really high place, and I wanted to take completely different pictures, and then he said maybe you can go up there, like it was 5 meters high or so, and he was like maybe you can get up there, and I was like sure, we can do this, and the pictures turned out so fucking amazing, and I never believed this beforehand, but like try out some new things, maybe it will be worth it. Okay, communication after the shooting. This is a really hard topic because even in Germany not all of the people does it, but like if you're a photographer, maybe a common selection is good. Like all of my photographers send me the pictures and they're like, these are my favorites, what are your favorites? This is so important because in some earlier shootings in 2016 I had 3 favorites of a shooting, and then he sent the pictures to me and were like, I added these 4 pictures, and in the 4 pictures there were no of the pictures I loved so much from the shooting, and I was so sad because like yeah, you can understand. So please select the pictures together from the shooting, because you don't want the pictures who only likes like if only the picture or the photographer's if only the model or the photographer likes the picture, it's no use and you will not get really good photos. So publishing arrangement, this is only something if you want to have the best out of your photos. Don't publish the photos on the same date. Like if you have the photo, if you follow the photographer and the model and they post the picture on the same date, you will not get these the likes or the, I don't know the word, the reach of the picture that it would normally get. So try to find some good solution, and like again a good exchanging platform for pictures. Like I use Google Drive or something like that, and he upload the pictures there, and I can mark the things I don't like on the picture. Maybe my wig is wrong on this side or something like that, and he can work on that. Like this is the most important thing, have always a consistent exchange of information from each other. What do you like, what the photographers like, so you can work together, because so many people work against each other after a shooting. They're like, I like this picture, but I like this picture, and like you screw up your whole communication with it and nobody will be happy in the end. So that's the summary. Like I told you so many things, but no, this is not how every shooting goes. Like I made so mistakes. Even now I made so many mistakes, but even try to check your poses, searching for good reference beforehand, have a constant communication with your photographer before, during and after the shooting. Appreciate the work of each other, because it's a hobby for all of us and you want to have fun during the shooting, not only want to make the best results. I will show you, and try out new things. That's super important. Not being stuck in your little bubble, and don't accepting new things. Like there's so many to try out. And yeah, that's super important when I sell, let's say some of the photographers say you can sell your prints for free, like you don't need to pay me any money. When I sell like 5 or 10 prints, I go to a dinner with them and pay them the food, because you don't want to spend only time as photographer and model, but only as like friends or mutuals. So yeah. And the most important thing is have fun. As you can see here in the dark pictures, I had a lot of fun during all of the shootings, and yeah. Thank you so much for your attention.